Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over this Acuity Scheduling review. So this video is going to be particularly useful for individuals who are deciding whether or not to use Acuity Scheduling for their business. And so I've been using Acuity Scheduling for about, I'd say like 2 years now. And I must say that it's definitely one of the most comprehensive scheduling platforms out there. But here are some things that you need to know and be aware of before you actually start using this. Now, let's start off with the pros with Acuity Scheduling. You do get really powerful booking features that can handle complex scheduling scenarios. Plus, it integrates with practically any calendar, and it basically automatically sends reminder emails. And you can even collect payments when people book. But the downside is that it can be overwhelming to set up initially, and the pricing gets expensive if you need multiple staff members or advanced features. Now, the biggest cons of Acuity Scheduling, though, is that although the features are extensive, you do have to spend a lot of time configuring everything properly. And what I mean by that is there are so many settings and there's a lot of options that it's easy to mess something up if you don't know what you're doing, okay? So some months I love how automated my booking process is, and other months I get frustrated when clients can't figure out how to book appointments with Acuity. And I think most of the time I've spent troubleshooting. One scheduling issue was like 3 hours, but I've had weeks where everything just runs perfectly without any intervention. Other things with Acuity Scheduling that I didn't like or don't like currently is that their mobile app isn't as polished as other web interfaces apps that I've used before. And sometimes clients get confused by all these options and questions during the booking process. And unlike other simpler scheduling tools where booking is straightforward, Acuity can sometimes feel like overkill. And for basic appointment scheduling, that might not be necessary. Now, with Acuity Scheduling, though, one thing to keep in mind is that you do have to take into account their monthly pricing, which starts at like, I believe, $14 per month, but it can go upwards of $50 per month if you need advanced features. So you need to make sure that you're actually booking enough appointments to justify the costs because there are simpler free alternatives if you just need basic scheduling. Now, with Acuity Scheduling, there can be some client confusion, especially if you have complex booking requirements. So my recommendation is that you keep your booking process as simple as possible and test it out thoroughly from the client's perspective. For me, for example, I learned to have friends go through the entire booking process to identify any confusing steps. Now, here are my 3 tips for people who want to try out Acuity Scheduling. First tip is to start with their free trial and set up a simple appointment type before trying any complex scheduling rules. I made the mistake of trying to set up everything at once and got completely overwhelmed in the beginning by adding unnecessary complex tasks. Second tip is to customize your intake forms carefully because you can collect a lot of useful information during booking, but too many questions will scare clients away. I learned to only ask for essential information upfront and save detailed questions for after they've committed to the appointment. Third tip is to set up your email notifications and reminders properly because that's one of Acuity's best features and it significantly reduces no-shows. I configured automatic reminders 24 hours and 2 hours before appointments, and it's cut my no-show rate in half. My rule is that if you're not booking at least 20 appointments per month, Acuity is probably overkill. But with scheduling with Acuity though, I'd say that it's been a really valuable tool overall, especially for managing my consultation calls and client meetings. The automation has saved me hours of back and forth emails. And Acuity support is pretty good. If you run into any issues, their knowledge base is pretty comprehensive. So with that being said, if you're considering Acuity Scheduling, I'd say just try it out. You won't know until you try it, but be prepared to invest some time in setting it up properly and make sure you actually need all the advanced features. But I hope you found this video helpful, everyone. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below.